Hey all, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 3. Sora, Donald, and Goofy fell off the mountain. They were blown off. Donald and Goofy are fucking dead.
Yeah.
So I guess we got to call in. We got to call in Max. We got to call in the triplets in a trench coat. That will suffice.
Actually, question, because they're just going to sit here and talk for a bit. If we weren't having Donald and Goofy as Sora's Disney partners, who would you have picked instead?
Serious answer, Max. And for Donald, I would go Scrooge.
I mean, I like Scrooge, I do. I don't think he'd have a lot of combat capability. Well, it depends on which version you use, because the DuckTales one could still scrap, actually, to a degree. And he is a monster in the Don Rosa comics, so that might work. Yeah, no, that might actually work.
To this very day, they still tell tales of the barge that collapsed in on itself. Did Mr. Scrooge do it himself when he was, I don't know, shit-talked? His mother passed away? I don't know, read the fucking books. I'm not going to recite the whole comic for you.
Oh, look! It's that middle part of the Land of Dragons world with the avalanche!
Oh my god! You're absolutely right, and now we get to actually play it!
Yeah, we finally get to fight the avalanche. Let's go, guys! We can take them on!
Oh, fucking hype, mate. Let's just press hype in the chat, PogChamp, or whatever. You see, we put this in during the fucking thieves ransacking, and it pays off in the end.
So, at this point, we get a silly little minigame. Hey, that's a recurring theme. I don't like minigames. Where you basically, again, there's this point where you just kind of got to dodge around these guys' attacks. And then there's going to be more sliding later on where we're going to slide all the way down the mountain. It controls like shit. I don't really like it. It's better as like a one-time thing, but as a separate minigame, kind of a crapshoot in my opinion.
Now, I will say, going left and right does feel very sluggish. I actually really like the, when the camera is actually on your backside and you can see where the fuck you're going instead of this Crash Bandicoot shit. That's fun. It reminds me of the minigame in Twilight Princess, actually, where you snowboard down the mountain. But this, probably not one of my favourite sections in Kingdom Hearts 3, especially when all three Icebone dragons start bopping about and whatnot. Then it becomes a bit of a clusterfuck.
I will say I actually really like these Heartless designs, because again, they're ice-bone skeleton dragons, just as rad. That's like D&D Knight right there, you know?
Yeah, these are like some of the better original Heartless designs in the game, no complaints. They're a little bit annoying to fight, because they also do the thing when they pop out of the ground to accost you and whatnot, but that's, mitigated by the fact that they just look so fucking cool. God damn it, I'm so easy to please.
Yeah, man, although with the guys like these, you're sitting there going, I really wish I had a move where I could body slam these guys or power slam them, like in Wario World where you can just do that to almost any enemy. I just think more games need to give you the option to do wrestling moves as part of your combat system.
It's funny, in the next world coming up, Pirates of the Caribbean, when you're riding a ship, spoilers, you can ride a ship and whatnot, you have the option to cast a barrier around the whole fucking thing. Why can't you do that here? Just saying.
I always hated you, Donald, and Goofy, you're actually okay!
That's fine! I take it back. Donald, you're okay.
Yeah, I take it completely back. It's okay now. I mean, I wasn't under duress of dying.
So we were just like escaping for our lives from like these hell sports, and it's like da 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 da, and everything's calm and peaceful again. I'd rather be on Valak Mountain in Xenoblade Chronicles because that music there is fucking lit. But hey, this is the next best thing, I suppose.
Obviously, they set this up as like a separate mini game. You do have the ability to replay it. I don't know why you would. I don't know if you get anything from it. Again, I just found it really weird to control. Just not really that fun, in my opinion. And I want to emphasize something, by the way. I'm not sitting there going, oh, these minigames are hard. They're not. They're just not that interesting. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Yeah, there's a world of difference between something that is hard and challenging and something that's dull and tedious. Some games get it right. Some media in general gets it right. A lot tend to fall short of the mark. This, I would say, it's not really hard and it's not really tedious. It's kind of chill. It's just a winding down sort of thing. And to answer your question, I think there's a bunch more treasure chests on the mountain, to the point where you might actually need to use a map on Kirivik Hughes to find them all.
Man, I ain't fucking doing that. I got enough things to worry about.
Man, if I asked you to fucking heat up a thing of mac and cheese, you'd be like, no, I'm just gonna order a pizza instead.
Well, okay, well, first off, I don't eat carbs if I can avoid it, okay? Secondly, good sir, you're talking to somebody who every week, he makes meat, and then he eats that, frozen vegetables, and, like, butter. And that's his meals, basically. So you really, you think you know how lazy I am, but you are unfamiliar with the depths of my laziness.
Oh boy. Alright guys, we've got a little bit of a mini-boss on our hands here, bone dragons and whatnot. How do you fare against these guys, man? Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, they can be a little annoying. I would definitely recommend gunning down one at a time, because they do have fairly sizable hit bars. Health bars, I'm sorry. No, okay, hit bars is how many times you can hit them before they die. They have this annoying problem where they will go underneath the ground in the snow and attack you and be invincible for that. And I'm not really sure if there's anything you can do to get them back up sooner. You just usually have to wait it out. So definitely just focus on one at a time. You can block their dash attacks as they come in. They were probably weak to fire. Admittedly, I didn't try, but I probably something I could recommend.
Bit of a waste of a fire auger back there, but it's fine. There's always more magic where that comes from. It's actually a kind of fun mini-boss fight. I wish there was like more of this in the game, and especially Disney-related stuff. Like, I would have liked to have fought Monster Olaf or something silly like that. Because, you know, Kingdom Hearts, when it takes itself seriously, you can get some Kino stuff for the most part.
You're not going to fight Monster Olaf, but you can make, in a later game, the minigame, absolutely Super Chad Olaf. You'll see what I mean. Hopefully you'll do this combination.
Sadly, I don't. I go for the most direct path, but I will explain what happens there. It's fucking hilarious, actually.
See, that can be annoying. Like, I don't really think there's that much of a cue to when their tail comes up from the ground. So that's something you do have to be careful about. And the Blaster Blaze is usually good. I like it. I will throw a bone to people who have been saying the trade-off is that it is slower. And that's true. Like, I get that, especially in cases where you want to be more maneuverable. But because they duck into the ground so often, these guys, you can easily miss with a lot of your shots. So, yeah, kind of a crapshoot.
Let's take out their wings and ground them again. You've been naughty. Eat honey.
I'm pretty sure that'll kill them. I don't know.
Maybe these ice guys have diabetes. In a way, we're just speeding natural selection along.
Just kill them. I mean, you know, if you have diabetes, why live? Why even be alive? Just die, guys. Come on.
Okay, that's not what I was talking about, and to hastily move on, because I have no recourse or explanation for myself, Double Flight is an ability from Birth by Sleep. I believe it was Aqua who got it in Neverland. It basically allows you to double jump, which, honestly, even with his, like, you know, Metroid, oh, I lost all my power, Sora should still be able to do. Like, even with a basic arrow spell, you could, like, double jump in midair. Come on.
And there are some games where you even start off with a double jump to begin with, for some reason, so there's really no excuse.
Oh, get ready. He's coming. You can hear Josh Gad warming up his vocal cords.
I thought you were talking about me. It's like, he's coming. I'm like, I'm here.
Oh, Lord, he coming. That's what I say just before we always start recording.
Wow.
Just to yourself. Oh, Lord, he's coming. So this is the same guy that played Olaf?
Yes, it is. He was also LeFou in the Emma Watson Beauty and the Beast.
I see, okay. Because again, I haven't seen this movie, so I wasn't really sure if everybody did reprise their roles. But again, that's a pretty good feature.
Pretty sure there were no absentee voice actors in, like, Frozen's adaptation, apart from Hans, which honestly I don't give a shit about, because he wasn't even a good character in the movie he was in, so... This is silly. This is very silly.
So you have to remember in this world, Sora face plants in the snow, I think like 4 or 5 times. Like, that's not really an exaggeration. He literally does this, because I think that's the only way they decided a mountain would attack Sora. This is its attack, it's just bury you in the snow, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Huh? Did you see that snowman?
And I like this.
Further to the point, do you want to see a snowman? Oh, careful, Disney's copyright lawyers are looming.
Walking and talking.
See, I like this. They're like, oh, Sora, you must be seeing things. Snowman can't walk. Bitch, you're a fucking talking duck.
You may remember this, actually, when I was going through Kingdom Hearts 3 the first time, because I completed the game before I started recording footage for the playthrough. I got to this point, and I screen capped that, and I was like, yeah, talking duck, I must have just been imagining it.
And, you literally have to remember the last few worlds we've been in, so again, there's no really any reason to not assume this is real. Anything can fucking happen at this point. You were a toy, for God's sake.
Yeah, and you were a furry in the last one, and that's the most nightmarish thing I can imagine.
Hey man, that's just somehow people swing, and you just gotta learn to accept that.
I won't, and I shan't.
Alright. Just saying, it's the wave of the future!
Alright, let's go check on the ice homunculi, known as Olaf. This area is fucking gorgeous, by the way. It looks almost as good, if not... Well, it's basically the same fucking thing as it did in the movie. The movie itself, to its credit, a lot of similar looking environments, they've nailed snow and ice, and the use of cool blues and like crisp purples and greens just looks fantastic. It is a visual treat for the eyes if nothing else is frozen.
I bet she's the nicest.
One thing you've always wanted to do with Kingdom Hearts is really feel like you are in the film. This game does do a great job where you feel like you are legit walking through a frame of the movie. Like if they, since they did it in 3D graphics, like if you were in the software itself, rendered in the area around you, and kind of walking through that. Like that's actually pretty cool when you think about it.
What's making you walk? Well, I guess my feet.
That is a good answer. His feet are doing it.
Alright, we have Anna here on the right, and I believe that's Sven on the left. Sven is kind of a non-entity, at least for me, so I'm not really going to be talking about him much. I think his voice actor came back for the role. It kind of all blends together, and if he's not Zachary Levi, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, it's Shazam, what are you gonna do?
Oh, and I'd be Goofy the Green.
I miss my wife.
I'm THD the dumbass, how are you?
And I am Entom the 64.
Don't ask about the other 63 titles he had before that, we'll be here all day.
I fucking killed them. All of them. They're dead. And the children, too.
He did. He's not the first Entom.
Oh, now, let's actually talk plot, Turkey. The trolls that were in the movie, who basically were the magical side of the film, apart from Elsa, they're not here, completely adapted out, and honestly, it's kind of to Frozen's detriment. Like, if they weren't going to have the bit at the beginning with, Elsa and Anna's like separation, at least I would have put the trolls in here just for something a little bit more like off the wall, a bit more offbeat and whatnot, because as is, it's kind of a bland retelling of the movie.
Again, I don't really have the context for that, so I can't really tell you if this adaptation is as good. I can really only go off by the game, and I would say, even as somebody who's only experienced these films through the games, the Kingdom of Corona had a way better, more engaging plot line to follow than what we do here in Frozen, which, as of this point, we've fallen down the mountain. This will happen again. We slid down the mountain, which was fun. He lied. And in a moment, we're going to rebuild the snowman, because that's what we need to do, I suppose. And then a boss that kind of comes the fuck out of nowhere, so...
But you know what? I don't give a fuck, because it's K to the I to the N to the O is what it is.
How fun!
King?
Kino, you fool!
Hey, I'm not the fool running around going, Kino, it's Kino all the time.
You know what? You have a point. I'm feeling the shame.
When we were little, my sister and I used to be really close.
Mentioned again, I haven't seen the movie, but I do know about its development cycle, where at first, Elsa was going to be a more antagonistic sort of role, like in the original story, but over time, they kind of adapted it into a more... She's an antagonist, but not necessarily a villain. You know what I mean? You can still have an antagonist in a story. And I do like that plot angle when I see it come up in fiction, where there are these two characters that are opposed because of reasons, not necessarily because of good and evil. They're opposed because of values and things like that. And I do like that from what I've seen. I do like that relationship they have with each other.
I don't know why this song is in, apart from brand recognition and whatnot. If they were going to leave it as is, that would have been fine, but then Anna just starts like monologuing over it, and for a commentary that's not great, but in-game it's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, when we do a commentary over people talking in a video game, that's fine, but in this, no.
You're being a wee cheeky cunt. And by the way, did you know, when you say antagonistic, it sounds like you're saying Italianistic.
Well, have you ever met an Italian you could trust?
Those filthy spaghetti-eating meatball munchers.
The fucking Marios and the fucking Luigis. Hate them all.
Oh,
This
God,
is Bowser talking, you know, the Bowser commentary track.
Well, I'm just looking at the ad revenue slowly draining. This, however, I find poignant. I find actually quite moving. I would have preferred if they took out the previous iteration of the song and just kept this here. Just have her monologue through this method, because it's slow, it's charming, and the characters are just watching and taking it all in.
We're gonna dance. Dance all night long.
You can dance if you want to, you can leave some behind, and so on. And there you go, that's
I
that.
shouldn't have upset her the way I did.
So she said no, and that's why you guys hate each other. Okay.
Well, the thing, and this is not brought up in the game at all, because there's a lot of stuff just flat out cut from the original story. Elsa disapproved of Anna and Hans's instant relationship because they wanted to get married and whatnot. And I was just like, hi, you can't just marry a guy you just met. And that's Anna's arc for the movie, learning to take a fucking sweet time with relationships and whatnot, I guess.
I love the way you phrase that. Just chill the fuck out, Anna. And that's metaphorically, alright? Chill the fuck out.
Especially in the case of Anna. But, yeah, that's, it's a deconstruction of the whole princess thing, whereas, like, Tangled plays it more straight, which I kind of prefer, honestly, because Frozen's, like, deconstruction tropes and whatnot doesn't really make up for the kind of bland storyline. Like, gorgeous looking movie, the characters are serviceable, the story itself is probably the weakest part, but like Sven, for example, I believe he helps with the ice cutters and whatnot. He's the son of an ice cutter, that's how he runs into Anna. He helps her reach Elsa's castle on the top of the mountain. That doesn't really go anywhere apart from like a brief mention, and so on. Again, the trolls not present. There's a whole thing with like a duke from another kingdom who comes with Hans. He's not here either.
The pieces can't be too
Well, from what I heard about the whole Hans shit, I heard that wasn't really as fleshed out as it could be, because Hans is like suddenly a villain from what I've heard, just like out of nowhere. They decided he's the antagonist, and they don't really build it up as well. He is voiced by Dio in the Japanese version, so I can kind of get that. If it was more of a Dio angle, hey, no, I'd be fine with it, but I mean, that's just what I heard again.
Look at that Big Chungus that we're gonna leave alone. Big Chungus needs to be respected. No! I need the real Olaf. I said the real Olaf. Perfection.
Hey, this is Olaf's body.
What you can do is that you can obviously pick the wrong pieces for him, and then you can make a bunch of different combinations. There's one I like where you get that big one, that you make that as his torso, and then just everything else, he's like the Chad Olaf, it's great.
Do you want to make a monster? We should probably run away.
Frankenstein as a musical never would work.
No, definitely not. Got a bit of the hump, so I have. I think Olaf's head is inside this thing, somehow.
Hey, getting dizzy.
Yeah, I have no idea how the fuck his head ends up in here. It just is. So, whatever.
Olaf's kind of creepy at the best of times. Him without a nose is frightening. I keep expecting him to metamorphosize into Jack fucking Frost.
Oh, I think I might have
So obviously Elsa created Olaf. Like, you see him get created during the song. Like, I guess maybe it's because she was busy singing. She didn't really take any time to kind of refine the body. She's like, fucking snowman, whatever, I'll fix it later. Let it go!
Let it go! Also, another thing completely cut is you will notice during the Do You Want to Build a Snowman sequence, young Anna, and old Anna as well, has a streak of white through her hair. That's because Elsa accidentally struck her with her ice magic when they were playing as kids. Like, they're inside the palace, because they're royalty, obviously. And they were just like making a snow playground. And whatnot. I forget exactly what the trolls said or did, but from that point on, Elsa had to conceal, not feel, and that's part of the reason why she wears gloves and whatnot. And the symbolism of her removing the gloves is her, casting off the shackles and being free.
And then with the white hair shit, that comes back later, obviously, kind of near the end of the film/adaptation.
Yeah. Like, the symbolism and, the metaphors and the deconstruction stuff in Frozen is great. It's just the basic story I'm not a fan of.
Someone had to pick it up.
Yeah, Sven has this thing where he fucking talks to the reindeer. I'm not entirely sure if his name is Sven and whatnot. What is your name, Blondie?
My
I don't know. What are you asking me for?
I wasn't looking to you for an answer. It's Christoph. It just came back to me. There we go. It said it in the fucking subtitles and everything. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
See,
Yeah,
it matches up.
He talks to Sven and like repeats what he thinks Sven would say. It's adorable, I guess, but he's one of the more bland male like love interests in a recent Disney movie for me, honestly. He's no Flynn Rider. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, after Flynn fucking Rider, it's kind of hard to top that.
In the most recent Tangled of the Series episode, Zachary Levi finally got a fucking solo, and he killed it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, on Twitter, you actually linked me to that one song he sings with some other guy called the Buddy Song. I was just thinking that Guy Love song from Scrubs when I listened to that.
It's Guy Love between the hearts of nobody. Yeah. That makes a whole person. Time to get fucking hot up in here.
Just melt the entire area, why not? Let it melt, let it melt.
You just hit like the triangle finish command, and when the screen clears, it's just the Kingdom of Corona.
Yeah, just firebomb the whole place. That'll trust me stop Elsa with whatever she's doing.
Indeed. Not so tough are you now, Bats and Minotaur Eye, if that even is your plural.
I am Carl, and you will respect that.
Goodbye.
You hit him with honey. Next time, maybe you can try a real weapon.
Vinegar. Exactly. It's good for getting out stains, and what is a house but a stain on the reputation of any world they inhabit?
Why do you think I piss salt and vinegar all the time? It keeps the darkness away, trust me.
You have a fairly good point there. Alright, let's wrap this up and finish off this part of Kingdom Hearts 3. We'll see you next time, where the Frozen adventure continues. Bye for now.